You know when you've done so much stuff, you're starting to lose track of what you've actually done. You're like, I have given this thing a massive birthday. So I start simple. The car didn't have a motor. We put a motor in it. It's a 351 with 302 heads on it, so it's closed chamber, high compression. The C4 was unknown, but I have chucked a filter kit through it and cleaned the pan. New output shaft seal on it. Trans is good. Also fitted a trans cooler, which did require cutting a couple of large holes in the rad support, but yeah, you get that in big jobs. I have put new battery leads, new clamps on those leads, a new battery clamp, which is quite nice. The motor has now got new spark plugs, new ignition leads, a new cap. Carburetor is might get replaced with EFI. The air cleaner's new, fan belt's new, hoses are new, heater hoses are new, fuel filter, fuel lines. I put coolant in it, although I am going to flush it again shortly. New breather, master cylinder, the rubber lines on all three lines, the two front ones and the back one, they're all replaced. The brakes work, and rather well. New return spring and linkage. Hose clamps everywhere are new, except for that little piece of hose there. Heater works. Indicators work. Sometimes I do have to put an indicator lens in this one, like the actual bulb holder, because it's rusty. Moving down the car, bled the wheels. What have I done? I've got sway bar links to put in it still. We've put a tunnel hump, a shifter knob, a console screwed in properly. We put new carpet, fitted the steering column, fitted the pedal box, mounted the booster, fixed that side of the roof lining. Still haven't done this side. Fitted a GS fuel cap ring, which was royally expensive. Today we removed the gas tank. I'm going to get that out in a minute. I fitted an exhaust, although it's garbage. What else have I done? Oh, I replaced the fuel line of the car on that side where I crushed it accidentally. Starts pretty easily now. I put some fuel in it. I've still got to replace the rear shocks, but I've got them. The line from the rubber line from the tank to the body I've got to replace. I've done the rust in this door, I haven't bogged it yet. Done the roof lining on this side, vinyl roof, shall I say, which looks lovely. Put the front of that together a bit better. Ran David's engine in. Picked up a dashboard for a few things. Picked up another 12 sliotar. I've just been really pounding out the work on this thing. Yeah. Oh, fitted an oil sender unit to it. Good thing I changed the oil. The oil in that was starting to get a bit as your father. It was a bit starting to smell a bit petrol-y. So, and I realised that oil has probably been in there for about 3 years, which is way too long. So that's on this, and now I'm going to do some work underneath it, try and get that gas tank bracket out, and then attempt to fit the rear shocks, because I've also, under the back I've put new leaf spring bushes in, mounted the diff to the leaf springs, put new bushings in the rear hangers, because there was none in it. Got the tail shaft fitted, had to get the straps to hold the tail shaft in. Yeah, so we've just been pounding out the work on this thing, and it runs and drives and stops and goes, so it's all happening. I'm just trying to think if I'm logically going a bit slow with the thought pattern. I'm just like, there's just been so much. Oh, fitted an alternator, had to change that out for a external reg alternator so that it works. That also works. Had to get a 5-blader fan. That was hard to get, actually. Harder than I expected. yeah, fit that blank on the firewall, because this car is a factory auto, but it came to me half manualized. Changed the trans fluid when I did the whole pan clean out, and that stuff was pretty disgusting too. So really been hammering out the work on this thing. And there's the trans cooler tucked in there. I painted it black. I always put 2 hose clamps on because I just don't trust one, and I like those lines to be nice and just gently. I'll probably put some grommets around those holes I cut in there so that they don't rub through. They probably won't, but can't trust it that they won't. And somebody said, oh, why didn't you clean the motor before you put it in? Well, because I didn't want to. I just wanted to get this going as quickly as possible for as cheaply as possible, and I think I'm nearly there. And I still need to buff the bonnet. I haven't finished cleaning the car yet. I got distracted on trying to get it to be mobile, and it is. So I'm going to now roll it forward and go under the back of it and start taking off that well, I'll just show you. Take out the cradle that the gas tank was sitting in. Oh, and I got a boot seal too. And I retinted the tail lights. So that was good. But yes, getting that out was a bit of a pain. But I had to take the gas tank out because guess where the tops of the rear shocks are? Under that. So now I've got to get that out. But all in all, we are progressing. Oh, and it was sold new at Montine because we were able to figure out the sticker or the remnants of it. The quality control. Alright, I'll pause it here and then come back to you when I've gotten that crap out and maybe the rear shocks in. Bye-bye, gas tank. That was a bit of a splendid job. We'll just say that, shall we? Yay. But it's out. Obviously I've got that crap to get rid of, and eventually a hole on the side to weld up. But at least it gets rid of that. And now I can get to the shock absorbers. Although, in hindsight, if you had to replace them before with a gas tank in, you probably could have taken the rear seat out and gone in that way. But I didn't want to. Plus this crap had to come out anyway. And look how much bigger the boot is without it in there. It's probably lighter. Right, let's see if we can change the shock absorbers now. Slight side topic, I was going to do the shocks, but Dad's not here, so I have to wait till he gets back before I can get his help, because I've got to hold it and he's got to undo the top. But as you can see, I've got a few things to sort out. This little fuel line, which isn't actually leaking, but it needs to be changed. It's not going to last. That's my dog poo exhaust. Don't look too closely at it. I'm now going to take the diff hat off and change the fluid and the gasket. And just have a bit of a gander in there. I've got to put a cable tie on here. This line's okay. I've got some spare Bundy tube and the tools and equipment and knowledge to change it, so I'm actually going to change this and remake this brake line here, because it looks like it's one really good application of a brake pedal away from just going, I'm out of here, boys. And as you can see, there's the new rubbers there, and on the other side, and up, well, you can't really see the back there, but yeah, so this is the old exhaust out of the Landau, and it's very old. Yeah, I think it actually might have been the original exhaust off of the Landau, so it's probably 50 plus years old, and it welded like crap even though it had gas. It had so much rust and stuff. It's just dog poo. So and those extractors up there, they were second-hand crap too, so I'm pretty sure that in the near future, very near future, I'm just going to put a whole new exhaust from front to back on this thing, because it sounds terrible, but it doesn't sound obnoxiously loud that I can't run it for any great length of time. So let's see how we go. Getting this off. It's a 292 diff ratio, so it's just a highway diff. About what I expected. Okay, I'm going to have to put this down and I'll catch you up in a jiffy. Oh, there's my new brake line too. Alright, see you in a sec. Well, I was expecting worse and less oil, so I'm actually kind of happy. there. It's not going to turn because the car is in park, but I have seen worse. And I have smashed a few of these to pieces in my time. Not exactly in great condition, but yeah, it'll be alright. If it blows up, just put another diff in it. Anyway, this is where I'm at. It's one of those things, I really don't think anybody's ever changed it. That gasket looks completely untouched from the day it was new. Like, I took the grill out before the other day, and I think I was the first person to ever take it out of this car, as the screws just did not want to come out because they were so rusty. But it's nice to get a car that's been unmessed with. Yeah, this is a bit... Yeah, I've seen worse. Yeah, like I said, in my younger youth, I have blown a couple of these apart. I don't want to say my right foot, but I can't not say my right foot. And being silly when you're young. Do you know when you blow a diff apart, you can still go backwards? Generally, I mean, if you blow the pinion to smithereens, but if you break the spider gears on an open diff and you suddenly don't have any more forward, it does still work backwards. And I remember my oldest brother telling me that when he was younger, he was in a Corolla and he was doing burnouts and blew his diff to pieces, and he had to drive home backwards. And then when I blew my diff apart in one of my coupes, I was like, surely this doesn't work. Yes, it does. Backwards is still fine. All depends on how maimed the diff ends up getting. But still, cool little stories. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up, clean the diff cover, and put some new oil in it, and give it a bit of a birthday. I wanted to see if there was any chunks in it. There's no chunks. I mean, it's no worse than the transmission was. It's just old and sludgy. Well, not sludgy, but like, you can just tell that there's residue on the bottom and it's been in there for some time. Yep. If I've got brake clean, I might clean it out. I don't think I do. But, you know, diffs are pretty regularly neglected on cars. They don't really get fluid changes as often as they should. Just a bit of light fingering for the crowd, and we'll just wipe that off, shall we? And I'll catch you up when I've done the next thing. Alright, so that's the diff oil. Well, I changed the oil, but I did this mainly as an inspection, as you well know. So, topped it up to there. I don't know how much oil I actually pulled out, but... And I did spray some brake cleaner stuff in there to clean it out and get all the crap out of the bottom. So, I don't know, pulled maybe 2.5 litres. I don't know how much. Where's my container? How many litre trays did I put in there? Oh, I probably put 2 litres in there, I reckon. A solid 2, or very close to it. Just filled it up till it started dribbling out there. So I'd say that's good to go. I'm very happy. Now to try and do that brake line. Now that side should be easy because I've had it off before to do that. And that side will be less easy. And then making it's actually pretty straightforward because I've got one to copy off of. So let's tackle that. Right, that's the brake lines made. I'm not a wizard. I can't make the super tight bends, but I can get it close. Double flared, now replaced. Yeah, I just didn't like the look of that line. This just doesn't focus, does it? Oh, that's pointy. Focus. Yeah, it looks like it came off the Titanic. Anyway, I'll go fit this new one, re-bleed the rear brakes, and I think we should be hunky-dory, and then I can get on to replacing the fuel line and a few things. As a bit of a faff, but I got there in the end. It makes me feel better. Bit of a funky shape up here, but you know, if you don't look at it, you won't know. Right, so now to put some brake fluid in. and crack that nipple over there, give it a twist and see if we get some fluid out of it. Yeah, and then we might do this here rubber line. Alright, that was done with only a little bit of stale fuel on myself. I really don't like how close these lines get to the exhaust, but the stupid thing is the exhaust doesn't really have anywhere else to go. I'm going to put a cable tie on the breather, just pull it back over to here, and I'll put a spring on that brake line to there just to keep it away from the exhaust. But all in all, I think we're coming up pretty darn good. I always replace the rubber lines. I don't think I'll get the shocks done in this video, but the brakes are bled. I'll put the wheel on, I'll drop it back down, I'll put some fuel in it and back it out and show you the vehicle. It is running a bit like crap at the moment. I don't think the carby's too happy, but yeah. Don't look at it, children. This is the bad side of the car. I'll get there, I'll get there. She's pretty happy. Actually, I had to actually replace 2 rivets on the ID tag because 3 of them had actually corroded away and the ID tag was flapping, but it had never been off. One was still holding, so I put 2 new ones in so they didn't just go while driving. I still need a top radiator mount for here, but all in all, you can just see the sheer number of things I've replaced. But and those extractors, I don't know where they're leaking. I reckon they're leaking about where they collect. They're not very good. I think they're actually very, very old. I mean, they were on the engine test stand for ages to sort of just run it, and now they're just sort of, I think they've had it, but at least it allows me to run the thing. I can't believe that alternator charges too with that volt reg, and really well too. So a lot of the hard to get parts I've been actually getting from Hilliers, which is in Lonsdale. So they've still got a smattering of old stuff in there. So luckily I was able to get an alternator and a few odds and ends from him. He also got me the tail shaft bolts. All I can hear is an exhaust leak, and it's annoying the shit out of me. It's on that side. Not on that side, it's on that side. I reckon when I jerry-rigged the exhaust, I reckon I bent it and cracked it because it was so old. Yeah, well, I'll fix it. I'll just put a new set in there. I think my fuel gauge isn't working. I thought it was, but I've had at least 20 to 30 litres of fuel in it and it's not coming up at all, so I really think it might be dead. So a new sender unit will solve that. Probably the sock is filthy too. That could also be another problem. I had that with the Green XB. You could idle it, you could drive it a little bit. As soon as you went for a drive though, the sock couldn't produce enough fuel and it just died it in the arse. At the moment, I've got to get a tyre for that. I've cleaned it up, painted it. Because that tyre's bin material, I figured I'd use it as the best template for masking, so when the new tyre goes on, it'll be perfect. That one I rattle canned, and that tyre came off the Fairlane. That tyre is actually nearly new. This rim needs a clean up and a lot of flaky paint come off. I think this is one of the original rims off the car. That tyre is a retread and is bin material. I don't know how that's holding air. That's a XD era rim, XE, XD. That's coming off. When I get that 12-solder cleaned up, this one will come off. But I only noticed the other day that this actually tyre, which I was like, I've never seen this rim before in my life. And then it says, property of U-Haul Australia on the tyre. I'm like, well, at some point in time, somebody's stolen a tyre from U-Haul. And it's somehow ended up on this car. I mean, I'm going to throw that away, but it's interesting that it's a weird looking rim. It's a truck tyre too. But it is what it is. What annoys me is you see this rust. Where they go, like in that door, it's perfect. It's only from that style line up. And I looked at my rust repair section I got, and thank God that doesn't go any higher because it's going to be right there. Whoops, right there. Doesn't matter. So, shock absorbers, front leaf spring bolts, which one's done up and one I need a nut, but I'll get that off that because that's not going anywhere yet. And then that's everything underneath the car done at the back. But I've got a whole bunch of crap to do under the front. I've got sway bar links and all sorts of stuff to put in. So, but mechanically, we're nearly there. This is why I put the exhaust on it, so I could actually run this for more than 5 minutes and it not sound like a monster truck, even though it sounded really, really cool. Of course, I'm going to give it a couple of cheeky revs for you guys to round out the video. I don't know if it'll sound good at this end, but we'll give it a red hot go. Yeah, pan down. Doesn't sound offensively bad for crap I stuck together out of shit. Anyway chaps, see you around.